What's going on, everyone? Welcome into another episode of the Dairyland Drive podcast. And my goodness, do we have a lot to talk about in this episode? Probably not a lot of positives, but guess what? It's still going to be something to discuss. Collin, Mike, and Riley, we're going to break it all down for you. This madness of a weekend that was one of the more poor performance sports weekends, I think, in my shoes that I had with my teams in recent memory. We'll get to Illinois. We'll get to the Packers. Aston Villa scored their first goal of the season, and then they gave up a goal to a team that was down one, who's probably going to get relegated later this season. Fantasy football went 0-3. I mean, just kept piling and piling and piling. It's over. It's over. It's in the rearview mirror. Let's move on. But we'll have to talk a little bit about it. Hopefully, your guys' weekends were a little better than mine. Obviously, the Sunday wasn't a great football-wise, but how's the vibes going in lacrosse and then down in Illinois right now?
Things are great, man. I mean, the Brewers wrapped up the NL Central. UW lacrosse football is 2-0. So I mean, what's not to love? I mean, anything else bad happened over the weekend that I don't know. I can't really think anything.
Nothing.
Yeah, I'm a pretty negative person, so like I texted you guys, college football is over. I just don't give a shit. I'm probably watch the rest of the year besides like maybe Navy because their offense is fun to watch. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I thought Bournemouth tied, didn't score. So that was kind of boring. Felt like I was watching Ashton Villa game. So I don't know how Collin does that every week, but yeah, well, hopefully it can't get much worse. So I guess that's the positive side of it.
Yeah, I don't know how I watched them either through
Cheer up, man.
4 right now. Yeah, it was a downer. It was a downer weekend too. Still battling the sinuses and the cold a little bit too. So that hasn't helped, but we'll move forward. But before we can move forward, we got to go back, I guess, to Sunday. We're going to start with the opening drive, like what I did there, our first segment of the show, the opening drive. And, well, from the opening drive, it was not pretty for the Packers. Offensively, just struggled mightily. Offensive line dominated in both the run game and the pass game. Jordan Love was okay for most of it and then bad and down the stretch in the fourth quarter. Josh Jacobs really never got going. The defense we'll talk a little bit about. I think the defense still played really good. Of course, there was some penalties on both sides of the ball that I think left a lot out there and a lot of mistakes. But just overall, a freaking ugly loss. 13-10 to a Browns team that's certainly in the bottom third of the league. I would say I don't know if they're quite the worst team in the league just because their defense is, I think, legit, especially their defensive line. But their offense, my goodness, that was painful to watch Joe Flacco for all of that game. It was really bad, and the Packers did what they were supposed to do. For the most part, majority of the game. And then there was like the last 5 minutes of the game when just about every single thing and every single mistake that the Packers could make, they did it one after the other. So we'll just get right into it. I mean, just initial reactions. I know the sky's going to be falling for a lot of pessimistic Packer fans. One of them might be on the show on the bottom of the screen right now. We'll see where he's at right now. But what do you take out of that loss? Do you think this is just a one game? They just weren't ready to play. Maybe the game plan wasn't good, or do you think this is maybe a cause of concern, like big picture wise, especially on offense, that this could be something to potentially worry about, for the foreseeable future, foreseeable weeks? Where are we at after that loss, or how did you kind of take it and take away from that?
Well, it's frustrating because they had extra time to get ready for this game, first of all. So that's frustrating point number one. The offensive line, I mean, I've talked about it for a while here. Like, I don't know what the plan specifically with Jordan Morgan is. They played him everywhere except for center. Like, he was bad. Like, don't get me wrong, he was bad, but I don't think moving him all around is like doing him any favors. Like, how is he supposed to how's he supposed to like get better at anything if he's just moved all around? But that being said, like, don't false start. What did he have? Like 3 false starts in that game?
3. Yep.
um, I pretty much lay this one on the offensive line and on Matt LaFleur. Um, I think Riley's talked about it numerous times how he has failed to adjust on several different occasions. I felt like throughout the game, it was clear that offensive line couldn't block in the running game. I think Josh Jacobs averaged like 2.2 yards a carry or something like that. Not good. They kept trying to do like these downfield passing concepts, play action down the field, and Jordan Love just didn't have time back there to sit back and watch him develop. And it didn't seem like there's any uh effort to like try to move to like a quick passing game kind of. And it's kind of ironic that like the one time when they obviously did try that concept, he made a bad throw and a bad decision on that interception. So I feel like this is mostly on the offensive line playing just absolutely horrible. Like I know Cleveland's defensive line is really good. You got to find a way to make it work. And then Matt LaFleur just not adjusting the way that he needed to.
Yeah, same stuff I've said all off season. Or Mike just touched on. It's in-game adjustments. If LaFleur's initial plan doesn't work, he cannot adjust. So to me, this is a major issue because you're gonna face other good defensive lines, other good defenses. Like you're gonna run into the Eagles at some point in time. There's other teams in the NFC that have shown like they're pretty good up front as well. The Rams' young front four is insane. So he has no answer for that, obviously, because whatever. I don't know. There's a million things I could go different directions. Mike said offensive line sucked. They did. Plan sucked. No short passing game. Like Romeo Dobbs literally proved he could beat Denzel Ward on a hitch and a slant, but fuck it. Let's only do that twice, I guess, the entire game, even though he was 2 for 2 when you actually tried. Don't know why they never went back to that. It was just like he knew the Browns didn't run man to man a majority of the time. Like that's literally all they do because they have such a good front four. They don't need to sit in zone and be safe. They know they're going to get pressure. They play man. So why do you not have man beaters and why are you not? And he did it early on. The one time he put Savion in the backfield, Josh Jacobs was out wide. They ran a hitch to him because they're and we just did that once and then that was it. Like, why do we not go back and do anything that actually works? Like, it's just like he he just can't. And you could tell he was emotional or whatever. He got his challenge right again, at least. So he's back-to-back weeks and not fucking that up. But, like, you could tell he was emotional. So it's just like, all right, well, this fucking game's going to be a shit show unless the defense wins it. Defense is fine. If I was going to be disappointed in anybody on defense, it would be Keyshawn Nixon. I thought he was half asleep the entire game. I don't know how these fucking receivers are fucking breaking you like they were compared to last week. We were playing much better competition and you were doing just fine. So yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I don't know how you fix the offensive line. I get they're banged up and stuff, but Elton Jenkins was bad. Like they're just fucking with Jordan Morgan. They've got him so fucked up. Like either just put him at left guard or left tackle. I don't care what you do, but stop switching sides. You can't do that. Like, Jesus, I'm not so sure Belton's not better than him already by now based off of that game because he played better. Yeah, Banks, I don't know how hurt he actually is. That might be we fucked up paying him and he's gonna be gone after this year. It doesn't matter, but yeah, there's a lot of question marks. It's a big deal to me because the same old LaFleur and the other issue, and I'm not going to say Jordan Love played bad, but like we've been talking about all offseason, we wanted him to take that big next step, and I'm pretty sure other top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL would have figured out how to fucking win that game, and he might have lost the game. That last big mistake, and he for sure didn't win the game. So just yeah, he's not in that top 10 category yet. He hasn't taken the step, and LaFleur is the same.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to win a lot of games in the NFL scoring 10 points. I mean, it's as simple as that. As good as your defense is, or many defenses in the league. You're not going to win a lot of games, even ugly games like that, scoring 10 points. So, yeah, I know you talked about adjustments. I just don't even know, like, yeah, his game plan just in general coming into it was just super weird, I think, of kind of his approach of, like you mentioned, some of the longer developing plays and trying to get downfield when clearly after the first couple of series that wasn't going to be the case. I don't know how much like Zach Tom getting hurt, if that had an impact on it. I would like to think not, just because like you don't know how much he was going to be able to go anyways and hold up. Um, but yeah, had to figure that out. That had to be a lot quicker things. And there's skill players on this roster that can. Dontavian Wicks, you mentioned Romeo Doubs, Matthew Golden, guys that have man beaters and can run those quick stuff and create separation. There is guys on there, Tucker Kraft as well. So it was just crazy to me that he didn't go to that more, and a lot more of those 4 or 5 step drop backs and stuff that just took way too long to develop. Yeah, offensive line. I don't know. I mean, yeah, you really don't fix it besides getting healthy, right? I mean, it has to start with Zach Tom. Like Zach Tom has to get healthy because I feel like that kind of puts everything else in place. I would if I mean Rasheed Walker's probably been the most consistent player so far. I would say of those 5. So I mean, he's got to be the left tackle moving forward. So I would like to see Jordan Morgan just stick at left guard until either Aaron Banks gets fully healthy or something happens there because we can't just keep having that. Is he going to play? Isn't going to play? How many snaps are we going to get from him every single week? That's where I would like to see Jordan Morgan at left guard, and then whatever, if it's Zach Tom or Anthony Belton at right tackle. But they got to be better. The offensive line can't protect him. The offensive line can't get a little bit better in the run game. This offense just isn't going to go anywhere. Because you've mentioned too, they just don't really respect Jordan Love really yet in the Packers of taking those deep shots because one, they can't block long enough, and two, he hasn't shown the ability to connect with them and actually make those plays. So you mentioned teams are going to keep loading the box. Teams are going to keep pressuring them now that they saw kind of the blueprint of what the Browns did. And of course, yeah, they don't have a Myles Garrett and some of those other guys, but it is there. And yeah, it makes me a little bit nervous with those other top teams in the NFC that you mentioned, the Rams, the Eagles. You have to play the Lions round 2, which we know that they're going to make adjustments. They've all of a sudden kind of figured some things out these last 2 weeks. So, yeah, I think the tide certainly changed from being on the high the first 2 weeks, and even in that locker room, I think to what it was. I know, LaFleur says he wasn't happy with some of the undefeated talk and all of that, but it just looked like a team that really wasn't completely ready, especially on the offensive side of the ball. And like you mentioned, I think it has to start with him. I mean, you have to game plan better and have just like you mentioned, what is Matt LaFleur's offense? I don't think that was like the perfect game where we don't know where Matt LaFleur's offense is because he doesn't really have anything, and that kind of showed, unfortunately. So, any other thoughts on the offense before we can get to? I want to talk a little bit about the special teams as well and where that's at. But any more thoughts on the offense or defense?
I'm kind of tired of the Matthew Golden end arounds. Like, I know they're trying to get him the ball, but I mean they did a couple like end around jet sweeps with Matthew Golden. I mean, they netted probably like a handful of yards, maybe. I just feel like he's not that kind of player. Like, he needs to be out running routes, like creating separation. I just feel like that kind of play for him specifically, like, isn't the move. I don't know. What do you guys think about that?
I don't know. I don't know what LaFleur is doing. I think he's just, I don't know. I think he's struggling I think he's trying to be like an authoritative figure coach, and that's all he's worried about. And he's like not in his mental, like where he needs to be, like in his offensive bag. Like, if Collin just brought up the whole comments about Rasheed Walker talking about the undefeated thing. Like, dude, that was like last Wednesday. Like, address it before the fucking game on Sunday. Why are you bringing it up the next week after to the media, making it a big deal? Like, you're acting like Robert Saleh last year with the Jets, like making issues out of fucking nothing. Probably worry about the fact that you made a shitty offensive game plan. So, but yeah, I don't know what the fuck. Apparently Matthew Golden sucks. I don't know. Because that's how the first 3 weeks is how they're put. That's like if you were to watch, like, I have friends, like, I've had 3 friends text me, like, "Why don't the Packers use Matthew Golden?" I don't fucking know. Apparently, he sucks. That's all I send back. I'm like, I guess he's worse than all our receivers because, yeah, they literally use Savion Williams in more creative ways than they do him. I don't know what the fuck's happening, so I don't know. I think I think Matt LaFleur is in over his head right now. I don't know what he's trying to be somebody he's not, causing issues, doing dumb shit, and just I don't know. Just he's out of it. I don't know. I don't think it's that complicated, but yeah, I don't know. He's wasting him as of right now.
And I loved it too. One guy that I didn't see a ton of snaps in the first half was Dontavian Wicks, and I don't know if that was just how the flow was going, but like I don't even remember seeing him until they finally got him going in the second half there, because I was like, where the hell is Wicks at? Because there was a lot of Malik Heath was out there. I know like Savion was getting like a lot of snaps and too. It just like I don't know, big time head scratcher, and then yeah, Tucker Kraft was essentially not involved, I don't think, in the offense really much either in the first half until, the second two. But
Why would you? I mean, why would you bring in Matthew Golden or Dontavian Wicks when you can have Fitzpatrick at fullback and just ramming his head into a really good defensive line? Because that totally was the fucking great game plan, LaFleur. That makes so much sense. Let's like congest everything more when they're obviously better than us up front and we're banged up. And like, what the fuck? That was the like he literally had the worst possible game plan, like the dumbest game plan of all time, and just continued to do it. Like, why is like, oh my god, I was like going back to all offseason when I said I was gonna be pissed off about Luke Musgrave taking like reps, like snaps away from receivers being on the field, and now I have to deal with fucking Fitzpatrick, the third tight end, kind of playing fullback, taking snaps away from him. Like, what are we fucking doing?
yeah. Yeah, in this, the good thing too, and like I said, I know we're gonna do Lambeau Lines here. I don't want to get too much into the Cowboys game, but if there's a get right game, I feel like for what the Packers are struggling with right now, like the Cowboys' weakness is everything on that side of the ball. Of essentially no pass rush, their secondaries kind of banged up, and I mean the Bears just absolutely tore them apart on Sunday as well. So if it's a game to get back on track, go into the bye week with a little momentum and kind of get back to what worked the first 2 weeks, I think it has to be this upcoming week. But again, I think LaFleur has kind of lost a little bit of the fan base too with just how that went. Like I don't think anyone expected the Packers to put up like 30, but like 10 points when you just had the first 2 weeks that you had and kind of riding on the high. And I mean, there was some good drives from the offense those first 2 weeks and just literally just didn't see anything. It was just super frustrating. But the most frustrating, special teams. It's getting to a point where it's almost like one or two plays a game. Like, yeah, it might not be a turnover, but it's like a big penalty or just like something that just like changes field position. It's just gotten to a point of like how does Rip Bisaccia still have a job? Like how is he still the special teams coordinator? It's beyond me. It's like watching, and yes, I know there was like a high field goal block rate like this last Sunday, like abnormally high, and like people returning the kick. So, I'm not saying like it's only the Packers, like it's happening to other teams, but it just seems like this is just something like every single unit, kickoff return, punt return, field goal block, that something is always going wrong on some kind of mistake, some kind of error. And it's costing games and changing momentum. So I don't know where you guys at with Basashi in that. Are you kind of in the same boat of like how is this dude employed? How are we not making changes on special teams when this is how it's been since he's been the special teams coach, right? Like there's been issues like this and longer than that, but he hasn't improved them. Like, can you guys honestly say he's improved special teams since he's been here? Besides maybe the addition of McManus, which Whelan's probably been the bright spot. I would say the bright spot for the most part, but we don't know. Like, it's like nerve wracking. We don't know who's returning punts. Like, they have Golden back there. I don't know, like long term. I don't think he should be back there. Like, yeah, Jay and Reed probably would. But there's got to be other guys on the team. Yeah, like
Ooh, because they just released Nicole Hardman today.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, Keyshawn, can Savion freaking catch punts and just do everything? Can he do kick return and punt return?
It can't be Matthew Golden though. Like there is that one punt that he let just fall to the ground and then it rolled down to the 2. Like he easily could have ran up and fair caught it.
Yeah,
I thought.
yeah,
Maybe not. I don't know.
100%.
But I mean that should have been a play where you just run up 5-7 yards extra.
Is that a coaching thing though, or is that a rookie thing, or a little bit of both? I think it's a little bit of both, probably.
Both.
But like, I don't know. Don't you learn in
He
like
shouldn't be in that position in the first place.
Right.
I don't feel.
shouldn't you be taught in especially NFL, especially as coordinator, that heels at the 10, anything over your head, like let go in the end zone, right? And we've now seen him like 2 times now of us starting with inside the 5-yard line because of like things like that. Yeah, I don't know. And then the field goal block, it's tough to like. I think because it was like Tucker Kraft was his side that kind of like went in, right? And it went right by Tucker Kraft. But
It wasn't that guy that blocked it though.
yeah,
But he
It was
came
Jordan
close.
Morgan, God.
Jordan Morgan.
Is Jordan Morgan our why is our lightest offensive lineman the fucking playing at the left guard spot on fucking field goal? That should be where like Nazir Stackhouse is. That's where your biggest guys go because it's where like it's just that Bisaccia needs to get fired. That's bad. It looked like being a game-winning field goal pretty much. It wasn't, but I guess it probably was like they didn't even like try. Like there wasn't effort.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna keep going on the floor. Like they don't give a fuck. It didn't seem like that's like the entire game. Like, and it was like they called like, how are you not have them ready to kick a game-winning field goal? Like they literally the entire left side got fucking rolled. It wasn't just like Tucker Kraft like whiffed or Jordan Morgan. It was like literally all 4 guys on the left side got fucking rolled. Like they weren't even ready to go out there with 30 seconds to go to try to win the game. Like that's on leadership. That's on the floor. And it's on the floor that Bisaccia still has a fucking job because it's been bad. Like we've talked about it. Like just because they got lucky and McManus was fucking under investigation, that's the only reason they have him. It's not like fucking they like found McManus out of nowhere and like whatever. It was they fucking lucked out that he was under investigation and nobody else signed him. And then they just did last second because Bisaccia fucked up with Anders Carlson, which nobody talks about. They're all, we got McManus. It's like, no, we got McManus because we were lucky because he was under investigation. Nobody else signed him. And we were in a fucking field goal kicker shit show because we fucking drafted Anders, whatever the fuck his name is, Carlson, for some fucking reason, which Bisaccia missed on big time. So no, fire his ass. He hasn't done anything. We're just lucky that fucking McManus is under investigation.
We're gonna call that Riley's rant there. That's Riley's rant for this show. Get it out. But yeah, I mean, I agree. It's just exhausting. Of like I don't know. Like in my head, and maybe it's just how it is. Like I was not surprised it got blocked. Just with like how that game was going those last 5 minutes. I don't want to say I expected to get blocked, but I wasn't shocked, or I wasn't like, oh, are you kidding me? It was just like, yep. Okay, yep, that happened. That's just how like the momentum was going, because like you said, like when things go bad, it's like the entire team kind of everything, if that's off of the floor or what, but everyone just either plays uptight or stressed or doesn't play as fast or play as hard, and that I think that was apparent in that play as well. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I still think this is a good football team that has maybe some more questions than they had after the first 2 weeks. We'll just say that. We finally maybe got to go against potentially like a top 5 defense when it's all said and done, and there's definitely a lot of weaknesses and a lot of questions I think to figure out after that game. But I'm not out on them. I think they do have an opportunity to get right this upcoming Sunday. It's going to be like a soap opera. Jared Jones is already trying to make it like that with some of his comments with the Micah Parsons thing and him returning and all that. But it's a bad Dallas defense. Like, yeah, Dallas can score a little bit on offense, but it's a bad Dallas defense. So if there's going to be a get-right game for this offense and kind of get some momentum going to the bye, I think that's where it's going to go. But All right, before we get into Dallas, let's go to Lambeau Lines with Mike, his fill in the blanks for the week. Mike, you can take it over.
All right. First one. If I told you before the season the Packers would start 2-1, and that loss would be not to the Lions, not to the Commanders, but to the Browns, you would have said blank.
I would have said that'd be very unlikely. Very unlikely. I don't know. That's all I could say.
Yeah.
I would have said you're making that up or you're lying. This shit.
Yeah. I did have a Matthew Golden one, kind of around his role and utilization. I feel like we kind of talked about that. I can go through with it if you guys want to touch on it more, or we can move past it. What do you think?
Shoot it.
We'll move past it.
Move past
Do it. Move past it. All right.
Past it.
We'll move past it. All right. Second one. Your confidence level in the offensive line this week specifically against the Cowboys is blank.
This week specifically, I would
Yes.
I would still say I would say like a 7. I would say a 7. Just because I don't think they have like some true like edge rushers. Like they haven't been able to get after the quarterback. So Love should have time. Like, yes, they do have Kenny Clark and some interior guys that might stop the run, but if there's going to be a game where the offense gets clicking, I think this is it because I think they can control the line of scrimmage, but that also probably means Zach Tom plays and they finally get Jordan Morgan playing somewhere long term, but I don't know if that will happen. So if Zach Tom doesn't play, probably lower. If Zach Tom plays, probably a 7.
I'm going to assume that Zach Tom and Banks both aren't going to play, so I'm going to go down to like a 4. Like, I'm pretty sure Kenny Clark's going to fucking go crazy this game. He knows their weaknesses. Like, he's going to go against Jordan Morgan and Sean Ryan. Like, Belton's going to have to play right tackle. So, like, whether they got stud pass rushers or not, he's not the best in the pass game. And like I said, like same as last week. I said the last 2 weeks as well. Like teams are going to continue to stack the box until Love actually hits a fucking deep ball, and he still hasn't against man. He did the golden once against the Browns on Sunday. Like the one time they ran fucking zone. Still hasn't completed a man-to-man deep ball. So they're going to stack the box and make Jordan Love beat them. And the offensive line is going to struggle to get the run game going. Yeah, they shouldn't. Hopefully they don't. Hopefully they can figure it out. But I think that the Cowboys, well, I would assume the Cowboys will, I guess, I don't know. Eberflus is kind of a dipshit, so maybe they'll fucking sit back 2 safeties high. I don't know, but I'm not real confident in the offensive line right now, especially with how banged up they are.
Yeah, my confidence is a little more towards what Cord Riley is. All right, last one. Micah Parsons' stat line versus the Cowboys will be blank.
I think he'll get a sack. I think I'm gonna go a sack and a half, and then I'm gonna say he gets like his usual like 5 or 6 pressures. That's what I'm gonna go with.
I'm going to say he has like 3 sacks and has like 8 pressures. I think the Cowboys are going to act like he's not good and and say like they're literally just not going to single block him with one of their fucking random tackles. And I don't know. I think that's how fucking dumb the Cowboys organization is about this right now. And I think he's going to. He fucking hates Jerry Jones. This is going to be a different level of like he's going to be full on like beast psycho testosterone adrenaline flowing lunatic. Like he's going to be in a different plant than we've even seen.
Yeah, I think the interior of their line is pretty banged up too. They have a couple of players that are out, I think, this week. And we'll probably talk about this a little more. Probably see him lined up inside, doing some stunts, some games and whatnot. So, yeah, hopefully a big game out of Micah this week.
Okay.
All right, that's Lambeau Lines.
Lambeau Lines. All right. Thank you, Mike. Let's talk a little bit more about the Cowboys. Coming off a bad loss to the Bears. Offensively, CeeDee Lamb does not look like he's going to play, which just completely changes like what they can do, right? Like, no, it's not going to be like Browns level bad, but it's not going to be them, with all of their weapons and like you mentioned, some banked up on the offensive line as well. So is this going to be another game we're going to have to rely on the defense to keep them under. I don't even know what to say. Keep them under 20. Kind of business as usual what they've been doing these first couple weeks, or I guess this what are we looking like facing Dak Prescott and I mean really George Pickens and I don't even know who some of the running
Jake
backs do.
Ferguson.
Jake Ferguson, former Badger. Is Javonte Williams hurt yet, or is he's still good, or is he hurt? He's still playing. So what do we see with this Dallas offense? Because if CeeDee Lamb's out there, that's by far their strength of the team, right? They can score points. They can air it out a little bit. But like I said, no CeeDee Lamb. Not going to say it's a cakewalk, but where are we at with confidence level? Maybe with facing this CeeDee Lambless and beat up offensive line Cowboys offense right now, and what the defense should be able to do on Sunday night.
Well, Dak isn't Joe Flacco, so I think you got to give him a little more respect than
Certainly.
that.
Certainly.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be nearly as easy as it kind of seemed defensively as it was against the Browns. I mean, I still think even without like CD, without a couple of their interior linemen, like they're still definitely capable of scoring. I think, yeah, for the Packers to win, they're probably going to have to score 24 or more points. I feel like I mean, I think Dallas is probably going to get. They're certainly capable of getting at least 20, I would say. Even with how good our defense is. Yeah, I don't know. I think defense, they're going to play well. But I think offense, they got to do their part this week. If they don't, they're going to lose.
Yeah, the offense has to definitely play better, obviously, but defensively, yeah, I think they just keep doing what they're doing. I think it's going to be up to Halfley for what they want to take away. I think Dak, and if you watch the Cowboys, Dak has full control to check in and out of whatever the hell he wants to do. So whatever Halfley's showing, that's what they're going to do. If they're going to let him run the ball, he will, like they did against the Eagles, which is why it stayed close that entire game. Or if they want him to pass, they're going to. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if Pickens can really handle being a number one receiver. I'm sure him and Keyshawn and Valentine will get into funny jaw-jacking altercations. Ferguson's a solid tight end. Yeah, I don't know. They don't have their center. They don't have their right guard for sure. But we'll see how the rest of it shapes out. Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do in offense. I don't know what they can do. Their entire offense was based around CeeDee Lamb. So I don't even really, it's obviously a huge loss, but it's just like, it's going to be tough on Halfley because I don't even know how you really game plan for him because he's literally been their entire offense for the last 3 years. Like everything they do run through him. So it's going to kind of be going in blind to what they do without him.
All right, on the other side of the ball, how does this offense get right? So Mike mentioned the offensive line. So let's say Tom doesn't play, Banks doesn't play, and you get this makeshift offensive line that we saw, for the majority of the Browns game. What do you do? How do you attack this Cowboys defense? How do you get some drives together? How do you score some points and finish drives and maybe get a little momentum going into the bye week? Riley, we'll start with you on this one. What's an offensive game plan look like if you took over the headset for LaFleur this upcoming game? What would you kind of attack and the guys that you have available in the offensive line you have available to attack this Cowboys defense and get some momentum going?
Yeah, I think, like I've said, I think teams are going to try to take away the run, and I think you got to do what they haven't done yet this year. I think LaFleur actually has to act like he thinks Jordan Love is like a decent quarterback because to me he is still trying to protect him and maybe actually use these receivers that you have unless it's just it's like going back to like Love's first year in that first stretch where he was protecting him, he was won't turn him loose. You have to take deep shots. You have to try to hit deep crossers. Try to actually use these receivers that you had that we've all talked about all year. Yeah, I don't know. So, yeah, that's what I would do in offense. You take shots, take deep shots. They're beat up in the back end. Like I've said, I think they're going to stack the box. So, you're going to have one-on-one opportunities. These receivers have to start making plays at some point in time. And like I said, you have to trust Love to, actually like start doing it. So yeah, deep shots and just deep crossers, the stuff that like when he was really rolling 2 years ago in the playoffs against the Cowboys, like that type of stuff. It's like let him actually like play, like stop protecting him, stop like it just seems like the offense was like especially last week, well, even the first 2 weeks, like they get up with the lead and he'd play safe. And like last week, there's just nothing. So like just open it up, like actually like act like Jordan Love's like an NFL like top half quarterback. Like I don't know, they're just very it's just very like boring offense, like very safe to me.
So didn't it seem like they kind of tried that this last week though? I mean,
No,
no, you didn't. It seemed to me like they were
I don't.
trying a lot of long developing, deep passing concepts down the field. Uh, what am I seeing differently than you? I guess.
I don't think they do. I think the personnel out there, like I thought they I just didn't see really anybody really even doing that. I thought they had too many tight ends in the game. They've had all these athletes at receiver and they're just not using them. They're using Matthew Golden and Savion Williams side to side. They're not pushing it vertical. I don't even know where like a playoff game 2 years ago and they went in that run. Like it was Romeo Dobbs and the deep crossers. And the only two times we even saw him on the TV screen last week was on a 2 yard slant and a 5 yard hitch. So like I don't even like he didn't even like and I don't maybe it's Jordan Love, but like I don't even remember him like taking a deep shot last week besides the one the Golden against zone. But like against man to man, did he even like say just fuck it and chuck one deep to any of the guys? Like there was never even a 50-50 ball, was there? Never even threw one.
No, but I feel like he was also getting pressured a lot too, and like I think he got
That's my
sacked like
point though. That's my point. You don't need they're playing man to man. It's 1-on-1. Like if you know you're gonna get pressured at some point in time, can you not go over and say, Coach LaFleur, like I have fucking less than 2 seconds. Can I please just catch the ball and throw a 9 route, a fly to fucking Dobbs and see if he can win? Like why like you're in the NFL. You got paid almost $60 million a year, mid 50s. You should be able to walk to the sideline and tell your head coach, that's offensive coordinator, like, I'm gonna fucking die. Everybody in the world can see my offensive line sucks. Can I please take a shot or with one of these fucking receivers? Like Golden runs a 4-2. Dobbs, we all know can make fucking plays on the 50-50 balls. Like what do we like? It's literally goes back to like fucking it's football. Like it's a basic ass bullshit saying whether you want to believe it or not. It's always going to be more about the Jimmies and Joes and the X's and O's. Like you can't fucking block them. You still have to try to figure out a way to get your best players the ball. And unless LaFleur and Jordan Love just think their receivers suck, like then it doesn't really fucking matter. We're not going to win a Super Bowl anyways, which is the whole point. Like I don't know. To me, they just didn't even try to do that. Like there was not like like there was just not even a single time where they just said fuck it, let's just throw a 9. Like catch the ball, shotgun, 1, 2, 3, chuck it. Like he had plenty of time to get that off. Like that's literally a second and a half. He had that much time. They didn't even try a single time.
yeah. I don't know how much more I have to add to that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's and I think to your point, Mike, like I think that they were some of the plays they were, but those some of the like longer developing plays that weren't working where you didn't have enough time to throw, where you can still take shots downfield like Riley mentioned of one too quick, like let it go. Because there is a lot of speed. And there is, good playmakers on this offense, but to Riley's point, I just don't think, like he said, I don't think LaFleur is really leaning into that or kind of letting them kind of shine or kind of giving them that chance, for the most part. So, yeah, I guess we'll see. Time will tell of what the game plan will be, and what kind of offense will come out, but hopefully it can't be any worse than what we saw this past Sunday. Otherwise, it's going to be a long bye week and a lot of chatter and a lot of probably pessimism, around the Packers after that 2-0 start. But all right, let's go to 3 and out. We're going to shift to college football. And boy, we'll try to keep this as like as calm as possible and as positive as possible. But let's start with first down. On a scale of 1 to 10, start with you, Mike, and be honest too. Because I think a lot of us, when we looked at the schedule, before the season, there was a lot of games that we didn't think Wisconsin could win, but we thought this was one game where they could win at home. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being not so shocked, 10 being like, did not see this coming. How shocked were you to see them just dominated like they were to a Maryland team that I don't think Maryland talent wise and just like overall wise was that much better than them, but did you see that coming at all, or were you like kind of shocked that it was just from the start just that bad of just being dominated?
On a scale of 1 to 10, I would put myself at probably like a 6 or 7 ish. I guess I didn't think like Maryland would roll over them, but at the same time, like I just the way that the team has been for the last like 2, 3 years, like at this point, nothing like truly surprises me. Like, I don't know, dude. They're just a bad team, a bad program. Like, I feel like they've dipped into like the bottom third tier of the Big Ten as a program at this point. And there's probably so many different factors that play into that and in how they've gotten there, and then how they need to like reestablish themselves and move their way back up. I think historically, probably being in the Big Ten West, having the Big Ten West schedule probably had something to do with that, with their success, and they don't have that luxury anymore, especially now that the conference has expanded.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a brutal game. So yeah, I mean, didn't totally see it coming, but wasn't exactly shocked by it either.
Yeah. And I will say this, and I know we keep banging the Luke Fickell drum like every single week. I think he's going to get the rest of the season. I feel like if they would have let him go, it would have been now with the bye week and try to like just rejuvenate or I don't know, whatever you would call it, just regroup and regather, get someone to take the interim, and then start the process, get going. I think the fact that that didn't happen, I don't see him going anywhere. I do think he's going to get the rest of the season. Again, you start stringing some together some games like you have these last 2 weeks, might get hotter and hotter. But yeah, I mean, the good news for Wisconsin fans is basketball practice started yesterday. So
Did it?
Badgers basketball has started. Their first official practice was yesterday across the college basketball landscape. So you have that to look forward to. And what, exhibition games probably like in a month, real games a month and a half. So you won't have to talk about Luke Fickell and Badgers football for too much longer, Mike. Greg Gard and the boys will be here to save the day before you know it. But
it's just so frustrating that PJ Fleck in Minnesota have a better program than we do now. Like,
yeah,
that is it drives me nuts, man.
yeah.
It's a tough scene down in Madison right now.
Like I said, I think a couple episodes ago, when he was hired, and just the changing of the college basketball and college football landscape, if you would have asked me what the trajectory for each of the programs were, I would have thought Fickell would take football to another level and Gard would struggle with like all these adjustments and whatnot. And the fact that it's been flip-flopped, where Gard has seemed to like figure it out, and Fickell struggled, everything is, I think, like super surprising. Yeah, it just kind of shows like this is wild, wild west territory, and still a lot of like so many different things going on behind the scenes and just every single day. So, yeah, I mean, these college football coaches get paid a lot, but I feel like nowadays it's tougher to be a coach just with all the other shit you have to worry about than just on the field than maybe 10 years ago. So, Speaking of coaches, unless you got something to add, Mike.
I'm just gonna say I don't think he's going anywhere after this year. I think he's sticking around. He's got like 7 years left on his contract after this year.
No, just ride it out with
They're
him.
they're gonna give him so much time. I think.
You know what he does with that time? Will he make?
Especially with this schedule this year.
Yeah,
I think they're gonna give him every ounce of grace that they can.
yeah. And to that point, I do get that. It is an unlucky schedule. Like you look at like Indiana last year, and they're kind of coming out party. Besides playing Ohio State, the schedule was pretty easy for them. So that like certainly kind of helped elevate them to what they potentially are doing this year, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. That's what Illinois was supposed to have this year. Obviously has kind of flip-flopped a little bit and things have got turned upside down, but yeah, that's all it really takes. A couple transfers to hit, some guys to come back and yeah, have some the schedule gods look out for you. That's how you can turn things around quickly and get some wins and get some recruits looking your way, some transfers looking your way. And my goodness, yeah, get an offensive line and get like a quarterback that can. I don't know if I can watch Wisconsin offense anymore. Yeah, one stay on the field and two just. Yeah, I don't know. I think I was making a joke. I was at a bachelor party this past week, and shout out Lucas, getting married. Not too much longer.
Lucas.
But I was joking with someone that if I was like a transfer going to Wisconsin or a recruit going to Wisconsin, and they named the week 1 starter, if I was named the week 1 starter, I would tell them no thanks. I'll start number 2 on the depth chart. Let this guy roll out here. I'll be good to go after that, because I think that's just like the curse, almost like the new curse that they have. But all right, let's move to second down.
Move on.
Let's go to Riley. We're gonna have to talk Florida a little bit, but the positive thing. If you were the hiring committee for Florida, where do you go if you could pick any realistic head coach away from a current program or just someone that could just have success in Florida, just like that mentality, that fan base? If you had a name or had like a couple names as a Florida fan, a Florida follower, who do you want the Gators to have? Or what would be like a slam dunk hire to get down there in Gainesville and get this thing kind of turned around and get them back into like the top, 10, 15, 20 programs in the country?
Lane Kiffin, it's just with Lane Kiffin, just his personality, offense, reputation, all about it. Florida needs like some type of charisma. Like everybody else in the state of Florida here is kind of going off with their coaches and they talk and there's charisma and blah blah blah. He's a great recruiter, Lane Kiffin is, and obviously his offense produces, and he's always had above average and sometimes really good defenses to Ole Miss. So he obviously knows how to staff that, or recruit that, or however he handles it all. And yeah, he knows how money works. So you offer Lane Kiffin however much money he wants, and I don't even know how Billy Napier did not, they're in a bye this week. Why the fuck did he not get fired after last Saturday? So you have the whatever interim coach you want, a whole 2 weeks to get ready, go play Texas. But no, that's fine. Let's just go 3-9 or 2-10 and fire him then, whatever.
Okay, Lane Kiffin it is. Be a good hire. I mean, he has to be gone at some point this year, right? So that search, I would assume would have to start, and that's got to be a pretty. I mean, we'll see what other job openings there are across college football, but I would have to assume that would be towards the top of positions openings. So, yeah. All right.
Scott Strickland, the AD, is just lucky that fucking obviously basketball just won the national championship, and there's so many other sports that are good at Florida. As the only reason Florida fans aren't trying to burn his house down is the fact that he hasn't done anything with this. All these other sports are saving his ass because football is obviously number one. Everybody knows that, but that's the only thing saving him. There's for a dude that just was the AD for the national champions at the NCAA tournament in basketball. People do not fucking like him. And yeah, it's hilarious how many people hate him for the fact that they just won a natty.
things are different down in the South. You joke about that, but there's probably been a lot of people, Florida fans, on the football side of things that have probably thought that same exact thought. So, all right, let's go to third down. I want to get your guys' take on it too, because I'm sure you watched it a little bit. Is Indiana actually good, or did Illinois just that whole thing was just fake? I don't know. I think it might have been a little bit of both. Um, I think Indiana might be actually pretty good. They're probably the fourth best team in the Big Ten, right? Besides those top three, I would say. I mean, Michigan has been super vulnerable. I guess we'll see maybe how good USC is this Saturday if they can beat the shit out of Illinois too at down in Champaign. But man, talk about disappointment! Like the excitement. That was most excited I think I've been in the game in a while. All day, looking forward to it. When like I said, was at the bachelor party, had to make sure it was on. We stayed at an Airbnb, so they had like this giant, like 100-inch like projector downstairs with like a theater set up. So got to sit and watch it on there, and wow, it was like just a slap in the face. I ended up having to do 63 push-ups. I did 7 push-ups for every touchdown that Indiana scored. So a lot of push-ups, got a little workout in. I don't know. I want to get your guys' take on it. I'm sure Riley, you got some insight as well. But am I crazy? I think Illinois is obviously dead. They're out. They're out of college football playoff talk. Like not now. It's just like, can you get to 10 wins and kind of follow up last season and not take a step back? I think that's the territory they're in. But I mean, 2 of the next 3 games, home against a good USC team, and then you got to host Ohio State in a few weeks as well. So right now, it's getting pretty tough to find 2 wins there to get back to double digits. So yeah, I don't know. I don't want to call them dead, but I think they're dead in the college football playoff chase, but potentially a path to 10, but I don't know. What do you think? Riley, you don't seem sold on Indiana.
Well, Illinois is bad. We've talked about it. We've texted like every week. Their offensive skill players are like
2 white guys.
like it's not good. Like I made this comment this summer talking sometime, and it's the fact like everybody's like, oh, they have all their offensive linemen back, and it's like that's fine. And they were better last year. They're bad this year. They're better last year, but like at the same time, it's like, yeah, they're all back, and that's because they're not good enough to go to the NFL. So like I don't know if it really mattered that they were all back. That's if they were worth the shit, they'd be going pro because they're all like 5th and 6th year seniors. Oh yeah, they're bad. No skill players. Altmaier is now to a point where he knows they're bad. He has no protection, so he's fucking freaked out instantly. I guess the disappointment would be from the defense. Like they just, and again, maybe they know the offense sucks. So like once Indiana got up 3 scores, they're like, fuck this, which is what it looked like. That's how I took it. The defense is better. If they're going to win games, it has to be the defense because the offense is going to make, in Big Ten play against teams that are at least average, like the offense isn't going to score more than 20. Like they're not going to. They're not capable. They don't have the guys. They don't have the skill players. The offensive line's not going to give him time to even like throw people open even. So yeah, I don't know. Indiana's fine. I don't know. I don't know if I'd say they're the 4th best team. I don't know if I can just put them ahead of Michigan or ahead of USC yet without seeing more. Like Michigan played Oklahoma tough, and now John Mateer's fucking hurt, so I guess Oklahoma's about to crumble. But like people were acting this week like after the game against Auburn, like Oklahoma was like a top 3 team in the country, and Michigan played them pretty tough. So I'm not saying I agree. That's just what people are saying. John Mateer is like the Heisman favorite, not now because he's gonna be out a couple of weeks. But yeah, I don't know. They could be the 4th best team. I could also see him being like the 6th or 7th best team. Illinois just quit. They know their offense sucks. Their offense is going to suck. The thing is the defense. So see how much better the defense can play because they do have NFL talent on there. So they got to figure it out. I mean, they play their style. So that's going to be the big question mark is how many games can the defense win them.
Mike's just smiling. He's just eating every single ounce of this up. But
yeah, I don't know, dude. I mean, I wasn't expecting that lopsided of a game.
Ugh.
I mean, I didn't think like Indiana is Indiana. Like they're not like a freaking superpower of a football program, you know. Uh, I don't know. It's Indiana. Like I can't like see them as like this all of a sudden like they're this up and coming program that's just going to be perennially like a college football playoff contender every year. I don't care how much people like love Kurt Signetti. Like I don't know, dude. It's Indiana. Like I don't think. Yeah, I don't know.
Who hadn't even played anyone really those first few games. I mean, this was supposed to be their first test too. Like Signetti even said that. He's like, I'm going to learn a lot about my team this game 'cause he knows they hadn't played anyone. And like, my goodness, like Illinois beat like a decent Duke team, you know, on the road. So yeah, I didn't see Kona, and I agree. The defense was very disappointing. I mean, they were just doing anything they wanted to, like at will, running the ball, throwing the ball, just moving up and down. And then, yeah, we'll see if they can figure things out offensively. Now they have big noon kickoff for like the first time ever, in Champaign against USC this Saturday. So, are they going to have back-to-back weeks of shit in the bed, or are they going to bounce back and get a pretty big win at home? We'll find out. But they dropped all the way from 9 to 23. Like, what a drop! I honestly thought I was like, there's a chance they could be out of the top 25 after that loss. Like kind of joking, and then saw that they got dropped to 23. I'm like, holy cow! So I think that kind of shows you what the rest of the college football landscape thinks of him too. So yeah, we'll see. Bielema's got his where I remember there was one shot of Bielema during the game where he was like bent over, like just like staring at the ground. I'm like, is he okay? Like, is he gonna get up, or is he stuck? Like I didn't know. I was like, what is he doing? But you could just tell he was just shaking his head, looking at the ground. I'm like, we feel that, man. But all right, well, that's
I'd rather
three.
be in your shoes than mine right now.
Yeah.
Can wise.
Well, we'll see. 'Cause after this year, a lot of guys leave, so we'll really see what a Brett Bielema program looks like. I think truly after this year, when all these guys either graduate or go to the NFL, of if it's just going to be back to square one, or if he's going to remain, 8-9 win program every single season. I think that'll be a big test what next year looks like. But all right, well, that is 3 and out. Some college football talk. Let's go to the final drive. And my goodness, was it a bad week for all three of us this past week? We were joking about this before the show, but all three of us got all the NFC North games wrong this past week. All of us got our upset picks wrong this past week. However, we did get our locks right. So if you do the math on that, 1-5. 1-5 from the Dairyland Drive crew in week 3. So, Mike, you have the updated standings. So, where are we sitting here 3 weeks into it? I don't think I'm above 500. I think I'm 100% below 500 right now. But it's not great in the pick'em land for us.
Yeah, so Riley's in first. He went from 7-2 to 8-7. I'm in second. I went from 6-3 to 7-8, and Collin, you are 5-4, and you are now 6-9.
Wow,
tough week for the boys.
Tough week. All right, well, we need a bounce back week, and guess what? Opportunity is there. 6 more games to pick. All the NFC North teams are playing non-NFC North games. We have our lock. We have our upset. Will this be the first week that one of us picks the same lock or upset? We will see. But let's start close to home, or shall we say Lambeau Field South, down in Dallas. The Packers are going to travel to the 1-2 Cowboys. What do we predict the green and gold are going to do after their first loss of the season and their second game now on the road, Mike?
All right. Yeah, I've got the Packers taking this one. I don't think it's going to be easy by any stretch. I mean, there's 6.5-point favorites, which is kind of feels like a lot to me. I don't know what they cover.
It's home game.
Do you think? Yeah. I'm not confident in this offensive line right now, but I do think that they do enough to pull out the win this week.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow up with the Packers as well. I think they do cover. I think they beat the absolute shit out of them. I think it's very obvious this entire team generally likes Micah Parsons, so I think they'll play for him. I think they're gonna get bitched at pretty hard all week. I think the media is gonna shit on him all week. So young team, I think that's a perfect chance and just motivation, and then to bounce back. I think they'll right the ship here.
I'm calling it. I think we see our first defensive touchdown of the season. I think there's a turnover that turns into 6 from the defensive side of the ball. I don't know if it's a sack, fumble, or interception, but I'm going to call it right now. Packers defense gets on the board, and I do. I think it's going to be a big bounce back. I'm taking the Packers over the Cowboys as well. I think the offense, though, still struggles for the most part, but yeah, I think the defense just completely controls this game, and we go 3-1 going into the bye. All right, let's go to overseas, an early game. I think it's is it in London? I think is it the first
Ireland.
Ireland. Yes, that's right. An Ireland game. Dublin Vikings, Steelers. Aaron Rodgers gets another crack at the past NFC North rivals, the Vikings. How do you see that one playing out, Riley?
Oh, this one was tough for me to. I don't know. The Steelers, the Steelers are not great. I don't know. I feel like I don't know. This is a tough one. I'm gonna go Steelers. I think just gonna ride the old Aaron Rodgers train, and maybe this is a defense that can make Carson Wentz actually pay. The Vikings offensive line still banged up. Last time I checked, T.J. Watt's still pretty freaking good. So I don't know. Maybe they can get Carson Wentz to do some dumb shit, and I'll go Steelers here.
Mike.
This was a tough one for me too, but I went with Vikings over Steelers. I mean I said it last week. I don't think Vikings should panic, and I think KOC is too good of a coach. Both teams I feel like are kind of evenly matched, but feel like KOC will do just enough offensively, and Flores he'll dial some stuff up for old Aaron over there. So give me the Vikes.
Yeah, I feel like this is going to be a game that the Vikings shouldn't win, but they do win. Like just one of those like grinded out. Minnesota finds a way to win. So I'm going Vikings over the Steelers as well. I think Van Ginkel being back too. Like you could see like the impact that he has on that defense. Like it's a pretty dang good defense. I think like at all 3 levels. So I think that's going to be the consistent for them every week. And it's just can you just get like average play out of your quarterback. Don't turn the ball over. Just do enough with the playmakers they have. So I think, O'Connell's going to keep doing that. So I have Vikings over Steelers. Lions. Back-to-back wins now. Impressive win. We're recording this on a Tuesday. Last night, Monday Night Football. They get the Browns, who are riding high off a win with the Packers. Can they do it back-to-back weeks? I'll start it off. I will say no. I think this Detroit team is starting to figure it out a little bit. Seeing some creativity on offense. I do think there's still some questions on the defensive side of the ball, but, well, guess what? You're playing Joe Flacco in the Browns offense. You don't have to worry about that. And I think this Lions offense is going to give Cleveland some fits, just what they do well. So I'm going to go Lions over Browns.
Yeah, I got the Lions as well. I think the coordinators they're starting to figure out here now. I don't think there's too much concern with that anymore. Lions are at home. I think they kicked the absolute snot out of the Browns.
Yeah, I think they'll beat them handily. I don't know. I mean, like Collin said, the Browns' offense is so bad. So I don't know. I think the Lions can get to 20 points at least, and maybe the Browns just crumble like they did 2 weeks ago against the Ravens in the second half when they know they can't score. But either way, I think the Lions won.
All right, last NFC North game of the week. The Bears coming off their first win. What's that?
I was gonna say that's also my lock. Forgot to mention that. I'm doubling up that one.
You're doubling up with the
Lions
over the Browns. Okay, sounds good. Yep. Last NFC North game, Ben Johnson got his first win as the Bears head coach. Now he is taking on the Raiders. So Bears or Raiders, Riley, who do you got in that one?
I went back and forth in this one as well. I'm going to go with the Raiders. I think that they can attack the weaknesses in the Bears defense. I think they can run the ball and pass the ball, and maybe Max Crosby can cause some chaos for Caleb. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Raiders.
Mike.
Yeah, this is a tough one for me too. I ended up going with the Bears. I wasn't sure. Like, I want to see Caleb do it. Like, have the offense kind of have that output 2 weeks in a row. Um, and it's on the road. But I mean, I don't know. I just don't believe in the Raiders. So I think give me Ben Johnson and Caleb in a close one this week for the Bears.
Yeah, I know. I went back and forth on this one as well. I was thinking you guys were going to pick the Raiders, both of you. So I took the Bears in the hopes to try to gain some ground. No really good reason. I mean, Roman Dunze is still really good. And we'll see if Caleb Williams can have back-to-back good games. So we'll take the Bears over the Raiders and that one. All right, so Mike, you already did your lock of the week. So just to reconfirm that, your lock of the week is the Lions over the Browns. You doubled up on that one. Riley, who is your lock of the week?
I'm gonna go with the Chargers over the Giants. Jackson Dart starting his first game, and the Chargers are pretty freaking good. So that is the direction I went.
All right, my lock of the week. You guys think I'm joking, but I'm rolling with it until I lose. I'm going whoever plays the Saints. It just happens this week the Bills are playing the Saints. I don't know if I want to pick them this early in the season, but Bills over the Saints. I think Bills are pretty dang good, man. I think they're the favorites to win the Super Bowl right now, like betting wise. I think they're right up there, and the Saints are just hilariously bad. So this is going to be, I think, a double-digit win easily. All right, upset. I'm gonna have to look for a new one because I filled this out this morning, and at the time, somehow Seattle was 1.5 point underdogs to the Cardinals, and now the line just flipped. So now Seattle's 1.5 point favorites. So I'm going to have to find another upset. So I will start with either one of you two. Who is your upset of the week?
I went with the Falcons over the Commanders. There wasn't a real great underdog team I was feeling great about this week, so I was kind of looking for a home underdog with a close spread. Atlanta's at home, only a 1.5 underdogs to Washington this week. I don't think Jaden Daniels is going to be back yet. I know Atlanta struggled mightily last week against Carolina, getting shut out somehow, but I think a little home cooking will do them good for Penix and Bijan Robinson and the boys, and I think Atlanta pulls it out over Washington this week.
Yeah, for me, and it's staying this way. I'm gonna double up. I'm gonna go Raiders over Bears. Like I said, and like Mike just said, there's not many great options to pick from this week, but the Bears are somehow favorites going to Las Vegas. It's a 3:30 game, so I'm hoping that the Bears aren't real disappointed. They're trying to hit the town on Saturday night, maybe staying out a little bit too late. They know they don't play till 3:30 in the afternoon, so I'm just gonna try to ride that wave and go with the Raiders, doubling up with them.
All right. There's not a lot to pick from this week. All right, I'm gonna go one that might be out there, just because I don't think a lot of people are still all in on him. But I'm gonna say Daniel Jones is going to get the Colts to 4-0, and they're going to go to LA and take down Matthew Stafford and the Rams. It's only 3.5 right now. Rams are only 3.5 point favorites. Colts, if there's one thing they do have, Jonathan Taylor's playing pretty freaking well right now, and they're getting him the ball in a lot of different ways, and he's running all over. And they have a couple good playmakers as well. So if Daniel Jones just keeps not turning the ball over and being like just okay, like this Colts team could be a sneaker there, a sleeper there in that division potentially. So I'll go Colts over Rams as well, just to keep it a little different. But all right, well that is all of our picks for the week and some different ones. So either some of us are going to gain some ground or some of us are going to get further apart, like me at the bottom of the standings, or see if I can get a couple on these guys. But comment and let us know what you think is going to happen this week for the NFC North games, for your lock of the week, the upset of the week. Any comment as well. I'm going to look at last week's episode. I don't think we had any comments, but I want some comments after this one. The first loss of the season. Let us know your thoughts for the Packers. What you think went wrong? How do you fix it? Is the sky falling, or is this just a hiccup in kind of this big picture in what I think are still Super Bowl aspirations? Mike, you had potentially something to add. You were trying to get my attention there.
We did have one comment that came in this week from Sam.
Okay.
He commented on the training camp episode.
Okay.
So he must have been going back quite a ways and
Way back.
listening. So I think for everyone who doesn't know, I believe Sam is an Indiana graduate. So he was giving you a little shout out here, Collin. Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy? Belt to ass. Hope Collin enjoyed the drinks and push-ups during that game. Lost 2 games last year to the national champs and the national runner-ups. Also beat the 2 teams that played in the national championship the year prior.
Yep, I heard
So,
a bunch of that on.
Sam.
Yep, heard a bunch of that on Saturday too. So, yeah, he knows. So, not much to say besides just sweep that one under the rug. Nice win for Sam and his alum, I guess, Indiana. So, all right, any closing thoughts before we get out of here? Let's get some good luck for the picks this week. Hopefully, can turn it around, out a 1-5 record, so people think we're somewhat competent of, I guess, talking football. But yeah, fun episode. I know not so fun to talk about in the terms of the Packers losing, but hey, hang in there. I don't think the sky has fallen. I think we all 3 picked the Packers to get a bounce back win this upcoming Sunday against the Cowboys. So hang in there. But like I said, comment. Let us know what your thoughts were after the game, and keep listening to the Dairyland Drive podcast. We appreciate each and every one of you. Mike, what do you got?
So Collin, you and I are both running in a 5K this upcoming weekend.
We are indeed.
How are you feeling about that? What's your kind of predicted mile time? What do you think you're gonna do? How are you feeling going into it?
What's my predicted? Well, things were going good up until last week when I started getting this freaking sinuses and cold that I've been battling.
Ready making excuses.
I've still been able to run. Pace hasn't changed or anything. Just a little harder to breathe at certain points. But I will now reveal my goal. That I've been training the last, I guess, like eight weeks in the program that I've done. My goal is sub 25.
So a little over 8 minutes.
So a little
8 minutes or
around 8 minutes, yeah, is my goal for 5K for
All right.
Saturday. So
right.
we'll see what happens. I will say this. Lucas's goal, sub 20. So that's the level that he's on compared to some novice runners, I think. So like I've mentioned before, Lucas, I know he's listening. I do not want to see you at the starting line. I don't want to see you at the race at any point. Stay far away from me so I don't have to deal with you. But that's I guess how I'm feeling. What about you, Mike?
I think probably like between 4 and 5 minute mile.
4 and 5 minute mile.
I mean, I'm gonna win.
If you win, I will drink a whole freaking bottle of whatever is the first bar that we go to. So,
You want to put a little wager on this between you and I? Who finishes first?
who finishes first? None of us are finishing first on the race,
Between
but except for you, I guess.
between you and I. Between you and I. Who finishes first between you and I?
I don't care. Sure. What's the wager? Are we not doing the? I guess Matt not doing the. Matt's not doing the race.
Doing the race.
Matt
Matt's
bailed out. Well, yeah, we don't have a third person to do the winner picks, second buys, third takes. So I don't know. We just do the first and second. Winner gets to pick. Loser buys the shot and takes it.
Sure.
It's easy enough, right?
Sure.
Or a drink, or are you thinking something bigger? I don't know.
No, fine with me.
I mean, it will be like 8 to 8:30 in the morning, so I'm sure it won't be too enjoyable to have a shot at that time. So I think that's a pretty good punishment.
See you at the finish line.
All right, sounds good. Riley, any prediction? What's your prediction?
I don't know. I don't know. I think Collins kind of hides something here. I think he's got a little more in him than he's trying to give off. I think he might surprise you, Mike. He's got something in the bag, I think.
All right. Can't wait.
We'll see. Nike Run Club. Coach Bennett, give him a shout out. Listen to him 3 or 4 days a week. Let's go. But all right, let's get out of here. Everyone, thanks for listening to the Dairyland Drive podcast. Keep sharing the Dairyland Drive podcast on however you listen to your podcast on Spotify, Apple, or YouTube. We appreciate each and every one of you. But for now, Collin, Mike, and Riley, thanks for listening. We'll see you next episode.
Go Pack, go.